fellow UPSC aspirants. Myself, Dr. Suresh Gurramkonda, and I am the faculty of Anthropology at Eden IAS. Friends, first of all, I welcome you all to this session on behalf of Eden IAS. So, friends, it is an established fact that anthropology is one of the most preferred optional subjects by many UPSC aspirants. Do you know why? And it is also said that anthropology is one of the most successful optionals with highest success rate, and it is one of the most scoring subjects in UPSC Civil Services Mains examination. So, are you aware of that? Don't worry. So, friends, in this video, let us try to decode anthropology as one of the optional subject for UPSC Civil Services examination, and also let's try to carve out a master strategy for how to score more than 300 plus in anthropology optional. Right, friends, before we dwell into our actual discussion there, let's try to understand what are the basic learning outcomes of this particular class. So if we try to look at the learning outcomes from this video for you, it would be that you can just understand, first of all, what is anthropology. So before we do anything, we should understand what we are going to do. So here in this regard, first of all, let's try to understand what is anthropology, and then let us try to move on to have some syllabus insights, and then let us try to understand why anthropology is one of the most preferred optional subjects by many UPSC aspirants. So then let's move on to understand who can opt anthropology as an optional subject. So that is also another important question that usually many aspirants will ask. And then let us try to understand when is the best time for preparation, and very important thing, how to prepare for anthropology optional. So in this context, let us try to devise a strategy to score more than 300 plus in this optional. So friends, first let us begin with our first question, that is, what is anthropology? So have you ever questioned yourself that before choosing this optional, so have you ever tried to understand what is anthropology? So now let's try to understand what is it all about. So in basic sense to say, anthropology, when we talk about the word anthropology, so anthropology is, etymologically talking, anthropology has been derived from two Greek words. One is anthropos and other one is logos. So the word anthropos refers to human being, and the word logos refers to study. In very simple fashion to say, what is anthropology? Anthropology is nothing but it's a study of human being, or we can also say study of man. So here we are saying that anthropology refers to study of man. So what kind of study it is? So there would be nature of study. So if we look at that, so when we talk about anthropology, in common sense, anthropology is a kind of systematic, scientific, holistic and integrated study of man. So in simple fashion to say, anthropology refers to a systematic, scientific, holistic and integrated study of man. So what does that mean? That means whatever man does, it would be the subject matter of anthropology. So whatever man has, whatever man does, and whatever man will do, everything is the subject matter of anthropology. So here, if we look at some of the basic further understanding with respect to anthropology from UPSC perspective, there are two papers in UPSC Civil Services examination. So the entire syllabus of anthropology has been systematically divided into two parts. So amongst that, we will have paper 1 and paper 2. So when we talk from paper 1, the syllabus of paper 1 has been further systematically can be divided into some important sections. So some of the important sections in paper 1 would be, first thing will be the socio-cultural anthropology. Socio-cultural anthropology. So this would be the first section. So in the socio-cultural anthropology section, you will be studying about various social as well as cultural aspects related to human beings. That means man. So in simple fashion to say, man has family, man has kinship, man has like society, is a member of society. So all such aspects we'll be studying in socio-cultural anthropology. And then second aspect is that we will be having second branch. It would be physical anthropology, so which is also known as biological anthropology. So here we'll be studying about various biological aspects of the man, like starting from what is cell, how the life has evolved, so that is human evolution, and what is all other biological aspects related to man. So these aspects will be studied in physical anthropology. And then we will also study some of the aspects related to archaeological anthropology. So here we'll be studying about some of the aspects related to past remains. And then we will also have a look at linguistic aspects. So this can be studied under linguistic anthropology. So this is another aspect. So these are the main sections that will be covered in anthropology paper 1 section. And then apart from this, we will have another important section called applied anthropology. So this will also be covered in paper 1. So let's try to look in detail with respect to syllabus. Now let's try to understand the basic sections that can be covered in paper 1 and paper 2. And then when we look from paper 2's perspective, it can be broadly divided into two important sections. So first section would be Indian anthropology, where you will be studying various aspects related to Indian society as well as human beings related to India. And then next important section in paper 2 would be tribal anthropology. So in tribal anthropology, you will be studying about various aspects related to different types of the tribes and various problems faced by them and various constitutional safeguards that are available for them. So all such aspects will be covered in tribal anthropology. So these are the major sections, and the entire syllabus can be divided into systematic fashion under these sections. So that is the basic overview of anthropology as a subject for UPSC Civil Services examination. So friends, now let's try to understand why anthropology is one of the most preferred optional subjects for UPSC Civil Services examination by many aspirants, right? So have you ever tried to address this question? If not, now let's try to understand. So here, let me show and let me depict with the help of a presentation. So here you can see why is it the most preferred optional subjects by many UPSC aspirants. First of all, friends, if you look from the perspective of the nature of syllabus, when you compare the syllabus of anthropology with that of other optionals, the syllabus is mostly well defined in the notification itself. And added to this, if you look at the nature of questions that are being asked in the examination, mostly the questions can be well predictable and they'll match up with the syllabus itself. That means questions will be direct in nature, which you can pick directly from the syllabus. So that is one important advantage if you have chosen anthropology as an optional subject. And then if you look from the perspective of the nature of the subject, here the nature of the subject is more of static and less of dynamic in nature. So what do you mean by this? So if you look at some of the other optional subjects, like let's say for example political science and international relations, this subject will be more of dynamic in nature and less of static, because you will have to have a lot of current understanding and a lot of current affairs you will have to follow. But in anthropology it is not the case. So the subject will be mostly static in nature, and once you prepare for that, you need to just upgrade and update more and more. So that is one another advantage. So then if you look at another advantage with respect to scoring prospects, if you look at the scoring prospects of anthropology optional, so this is an optional with very good scoring prospects, and you can have better rewards always with the anthropology optional. So in this context, I would like to ask you a question. So are you aware what is the top mark in anthropology optional in the UPSC history? So if you are aware that the top mark here, it is 362. 362 is the top mark in anthropology optional in the UPSC history. So it has been backed by Lakshmi Nagappan in the year 2018, and she got AIR 45 in that particular year. And there were so many aspirants who have scored more than 300 plus. So I will also show you that that record of aspirants who have scored good marks in anthropology optional. So just here you can see some of the insights related to the top scores and top scorers in anthropology optional. So first, if you look from 2023 point of view, so PK Siddharth Ramkumar, he is AR 4 in 2023, and he has scored 326 marks with anthropology optional. So there in the same year you can have Ananya Reddy. So she with All India rank 3, she scored around 275 marks in anthropology optional. So likewise, if you see Nidhi Pai in 2022 scored 325, and Vuma Harati in 2022 scored 293, and you can see Narayan Amit in 2021 scored 306. So likewise, you can see there are so many aspirants who scored more than 275 plus and 300 plus in anthropology optional. So can you see here Lakshmi Nagappan? So she scored 362. 362 is not a small score. 362 is a very big score, and this proves that anthropology can have good scoring prospects. So there are so many testimonials for this. So Akshat Jain, Ayush Sinha, and Anudeep Durusetti, Sachin Gupta, Koya Sriharsha. So all of them have scored consistently, and all of them have scored more than 300 plus with anthropology as an optional subject. So this proves that anthropology has the ability to score more than 300 plus, right? So I hope you got convinced with my statement. And now let us try to understand about other aspects. Why is it most preferred optional subject? And when you look at the next point after the scoring prospects, it is the success rate. So when you look at the success rate, anthropology is one of the optionals with high success rate and with consistent results and regular toppers. So you have saw regular toppers. There were regular toppers with anthropology optional. And are you aware what is the success rate of anthropology optional in UPSC mains? Yes, exactly. It is around 10%. So the statistics shows and reveals that 9 to 10% is the success rate. So that means out of 100 students who have opted for anthropology optional, so consistently 9 to 10 students have cleared civil services examination with anthropology as an optional subject. So that makes it another important and interesting fact why it is being chosen by so many aspirants as an optional subject. And then friends, if you look at other things, resource availability. Resource availability is also one of the important factors which makes this as most preferred optional subject. So here when you look, there is abundant availability of the resources and there are good number of faculties, mentors and guides available for anthropology as an optional subject. So this also makes this as one of the most preferred optional subjects, right? And then if you look at other things, next important factor is that syllabus overlapping. So if you compare the syllabus of anthropology optional with that of other general studies, most of the syllabus in anthropology overlaps with that of many sections of general studies, starting from Indian society and moving on to history, and then you can talk from governance perspective, you can talk from polity perspective and science and technology perspective. So there were so many aspects which will overlap with the anthropology optional. So the consistent and significant overlapping is there with many portions of the GS section. So that is another thing. And apart from all these friends, interest is another factor that makes this particular subject as important and most preferred optional subjects. So if we talk from interest point of view, so friends, try to just understand this logic. So here we are saying that anthropology is nothing but it's a holistic study of man in both time and space. So that means what we are doing here, we'll be trying to read about the man. So man means who is man? So in this case, what we'll be doing, you and I, both of us will be studying about us, that is man, that is human being. So we'll be studying everything about the man. That means how man has evolved, how life has originated, how we have reached to this level of technological advancements, and how we have established various social institutions, like it can be marriage, it can be family, it can be kinship, it can be economic organization, or it can be political organization. How we have evolved all these things and what was the need. So that we'll be studying in anthropology. So here thing is that this subject of study and the object of study both will be same. That means man will be studying about man. So isn't it interesting? So in fact, this makes this particular subject more interesting. So out of the academic perspective, you can develop a good perspective about human beings. So that makes this particular subject one of the most preferred optional subjects for UPSC Civil Services examination. So friends, these are some of the reasons why most of the aspirants will pick this optional as their choice. So then next important and pondering question that regularly asked by aspirants is that who can opt for this particular optional? So next question, that is who. So when we talk from the perspective of who, so if you have arts background, if you are from sciences background, so irrespective of the background of your academic background, you can choose anthropology as your optional subject, because anthropology is an admixture of all the subjects. You can have social sciences concepts here, you can have science related concepts here, you can have all the subject related concepts here. So whatever man does will be subject matter of anthropology. So here there is no bar for anyone to choose this particular optional, right? So from that perspective, anyone can opt for anthropology as an optional subject. So that is one another important factor. And then next important question and regular question that is asked by so many aspirants is that when is the right time for preparing anthropology optional? So friends, try to understand this logic, that it is obviously advised that before prelims, if you can finish your optional subject and optional syllabus, you can gain confidence to give the pre properly, and then if you have selected for preliminary examination, and then you can just go for giving main examination confidently. So try to finish it before prelims. So before prelims, if you can just complete this, so then that would be the right time. So keep this in mind, so you can follow likewise. So that is one another important aspect. So this is with respect to who can prepare and when is the best time for preparation. And now let us move on to another important factor, that is how to prepare for anthropology optional. So this is one important thing that we have to understand. How to prepare for anthropology optional. That means, friends, in this section, let us try to understand a master strategy with which you can score more than 300 plus in anthropology optional. So as we have saw that there is every possibility to score more than 300 plus. So we can also score more than 300 plus in anthropology optional, provided that if you have good strategy for the same. So this strategy is something that makes it possible. So without a proper strategy, we cannot score a good score. So that is one thing. So if we are stating that, so what is that strategy and what are the various steps that we shall have to follow in this? So that is another important aspect that we have to keep in mind. So now I'll be telling you some steps. Try to follow those steps, and if you can follow those steps, friends, I can assure you that you can score definitely 300 plus in anthropology optional. So first and foremost step is that first what you have to do, number one, you have to master the syllabus first. Master the syllabus first. Friends, listen very carefully, because these steps can take you to these steps can make you successful, and they can take you to the shore of success. First thing what you have to do, you have to master the syllabus. So why? What is the need? What is the importance of syllabus? So if we talk from the perspective of syllabus, friends, in UPSC Civil Services examination, syllabus will be your guide, syllabus will be your mentor, syllabus will be your Bible, syllabus will be an ultimate source for guidance to get through this examination. Once you are clear with the syllabus, once you master the syllabus, you will get to know and you will understand what to read, where to read, how much to read. So you will get clarification about all these things. So thing is that what you have to do, you have to master the syllabus. So there is no other go. So that is first step that you have to do. And if we talk about the basic aspect of syllabus, so as I have told you already, there are some basic sections. So let us try to dwell more into the syllabus aspects, and let's try to understand what you will study in this anthropology optional. So if you look from the syllabus point of view, the first topic in anthropology paper 1 would be meaning, scope and development of anthropology, and then relationship of anthropology with other disciplines, and main branches of anthropology, their scope and relevance. So friends, here in this section what you will be studying is that you will be trying to understand what anthropology is all about, and you will try to understand how anthropology as a discipline has emerged both in the world as well as in India. So that would be there in this. So here it is important to understand various aspects, like how is it related with other branches, and what are the main branches of anthropology and their scope, these things. So this will be covered in this section. And as we have already said that we'll be studying about human beings here, we'll be studying about man here. So here the next important chapter that is mentioned in the syllabus is human evolution and emergence of man. So now you look at here carefully. So here the next topic that is mentioned is human evolution. So that means here we'll be studying about how man has emerged. So if we look from the animal kingdom's point of view, the man is the one such animal emerged with a lot of complexities, either it can be anatomically or it can be culturally. So that we'll be studying about in these particular aspects, like let's say for example characteristics of primates. So if we talk from animal kingdom point of view, primates is one such category to which the human beings belong. So here in this chapter we'll be studying about what are the evolutionary trends in primates, so how the human beings, that is man, is related with other close relatives, like let's say we'll say that monkeys or apes are our cousins. So that means we'll try to understand what are the various factors that are related to man and other close relatives. Let's say for example, if we talk from chimpanzee's perspective, 98.8% of the DNA is same for both humans and chimpanzees, but only with this 1.2% difference in the genetic composition, man has evolved as a technological as well as a kind of a giant in all the aspects. So that makes humans unique, right? So we'll be studying about all such kind of things in these things. So then we'll be having other chapter called phylogenetic status, characteristics and geographical distribution of some of the ancestors or some of the earliest forms of human beings, like it can be Australopithecus, or it can be Homo erectus, or it can be Neanderthal man, or it can be Homo sapiens. So we'll be studying about all these things in this particular chapter. So I hope all these chapters or all these kind of topics would have been covered for you also with respect to your biological concepts in your 10th till your 10th standard. So that is one another thing. So that's how this chapter will be there. And then if you look at other topics, like there would be biological basis of life. So here you'll be studying about what is cell, what is DNA, what is the structure of cell, what is the structure of DNA, how proteins will be synthesized, how all those aspects related to various basic cells and cell division, all such aspects will be there. And you will be well versed with this if you had a basic study or basic knowledge about science up to your 10th standard. So it is not that much critical, right? And same things you'll be studying in biology or in your science and technology part in GS3 also. This is one another thing. So that is one thing. So then we will move on to the next important chapter, that is 1.8, where you'll be studying about some of the important principles of prehistoric archaeology and chronology. There you'll be studying about some important relative and absolute dating methods. So this is carbon dating, all such kind of concepts will be coming here. So they will be another important section here. So then if you see other topic here, cultural evolution, broad outlines of prehistoric cultures. So in this you'll be studying about things like Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, as well as Bronze Age, Copper Age and Iron Age, all those factors. That means friends, these topics would have been covered by you already in history. So can you able to recollect your prehistory kind of topics? So there you'll be studying about all these things. So Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, all those things. So this is another section which overlaps with your history portion. So now can you able to understand the overlapping sections? So this is again one thing. And then friends, if you look at the next important sections, next sections would be their topics would be related to socio-cultural anthropology. So man is also a member of society and he performs various activities as a member of society. So it is very much important to study about socio-cultural aspects of the man. So first topic in the socio-cultural anthropology is nature of the culture. You have to understand first of all what is culture. Once you understand what is culture, as the culture is unique to human beings, so you can understand further concepts, right? So here in this chapter you will be studying about what is culture, what is civilization, and what are the differences between culture and civilization, etc. So in simple fashion to say, culture and civilization. So culture is nothing but what you are, whereas civilization is nothing but what you have. Like means, for example, to say the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you talk, all those things will be part and parcel of your culture. Whereas what does you have, like for example to say what kind of things you possess, what kind of technology you have. So all these things will be part and parcel of civilization. So likewise, we'll be studying what is culture, characteristics of culture, what is civilization, differences between them. So all those things in this nature of culture topic. And apart from that, you'll be studying about two very important concepts in this particular chapter. That is ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. So these are two most important concepts in entire anthropology syllabus, right? So that is one thing. And next important topic is the nature of the society. Friends, as we say that man is a member of society, is one of the member of society, we have to understand about various aspects related to society, isn't it? So here we'll be studying about what is society is all about, and what are social institutions, what are social groups, what do you mean by social stratification, all those things will be studied. So that is one thing. And then man as a member of society has established lot of social institutions. So one such social institution is marriage. So every person, every human being in this world will enter into the marriage in one or other part of his life. So we'll be studying about the concept of marriage here in a systematic fashion, starting from definition to types of marriage and various rules and regulations of marriage, and then we'll also be studying about various marriage payments and functions and all such kind of concepts here. So that makes this subject interesting, because we'll be studying how these kind of trends, how these social institutions have evolved, man has, why and what was the need to develop such kind of social institutions. Everything we'll be studying in a systematic fashion, right? And then next topic would be family. So every person will have family, isn't it? So here we'll be studying systematically about definition of family, and then we'll be studying about types, functions, and various impact of current things like urbanization, globalization, industrialization on family. So this would be another topic that we'll be studying in this section. So here, friends, if you see this topic, particularly impact of urbanization, industrialization, and feminist movements on family, this you would have studied already in society section of your GS paper 1. So here is another overlapping area. So that is one thing. And then friends, if you see, every person will have kinship ties, every person will have kinship relatives. So here we'll be studying about that kinship kind of aspects. Then we'll be studying about the basic economic and political organizations that has been established by man. So we'll be studying these aspects from the primitive or tribal society's point of view, because the reference point is not current or contemporary. The reference point will be of primitive man. So we'll be studying how we have established these social institutions and what was the reason of establishment and how we have established this. So that would be our subject matter in this thing. So that is one thing. And then another most important social institution that man has established is religion. So we cannot separate religion from our life. So we'll be studying systematically regarding various approaches to study religion, and then we'll be studying various forms of religion in tribal and peasant societies, like it could be animism, animatism, or fetishism, or naturism, or totemism. So all such kind of concepts we'll be studying. And friends, let me tell you that studying these subjects will be so interesting and so much impressive that you will be amused to know all such kind of things, right? So, and we are in this scientific world. So this subject will connote great ties with religion, magic, and science. So we are very much aware that there exists something called magic, there exists something called science, and there exists something called religion. So in this particular topic, we'll be systematically studying about what is the difference between religion, what is the difference between science, and what is the difference between magic. So this is another important thing, friends. So likewise, that is another important topic here in this. And next very important topic with respect to our syllabus is that anthropological theories. Once you master this particular topic, so there is no one to stop clearing you from civil services examination. So the pivotal aspect or pivotal topic in an entire anthropology subject would be learning about anthropological theories. We will have various theories to study the culture and society. So starting from classical evolution, evolutionism to postmodernism, so all the schools of thoughts will have their own perspective to look and study the cultures. So that we'll be studying in this particular subject, particular topic. So that is one thing. So then we'll also study various aspects related to the language, culture, communication, etc. So that we'll be studying in unit 7. So then friends, we'll be having other basic topic called research methods in anthropology. So here we'll be studying how fieldwork tradition has begun and how we have tried to gone for various aspects of studying humans. So this will be studying in this research methods in anthropology. And then we'll be moving on to the biological anthropology or physical anthropology. There we'll be studying about some aspects related to human genetics, which you will be studying in your 10th, 11th and 12th standard. So there we'll be moving on to some other concepts like Mendelian genetics, the concept of polymorphism, or all such kind of things you will be studying. And then you will also have a look at chromosomes and chromosomal aberrations. So friends, it would be commonly said in your homes that you should get married early. At earliest possible age, you will have to marry. So do you know what is the reason for that? See, there can be some chromosomal aberrations can be formed if you go for late marriage and then if you plan for making babies. So here, if you study this particular chapter, that is chromosomes and chromosomal aberrations, you will get entire insights about such kind of issues that you will face. So what are the various chromosomal abnormalities, chromosomal irregularities will be there. So that is the essence in this. So you can study that in this. And then we can have topics like race and racism, and we can have some physiological characters about man. We can study like what are the common blood glucose levels, or like body fat levels, or pulse rate, or respiratory levels. So basic things you can learn in this particular chapter. So these facts will not only help you academically, but they will also help you to understand, and they will also give you a kind of good insights to learn for yourself also, right? That is one other thing. So there is another topic called ecological anthropology, where you will be studying about some of the important ecological concepts related to humans, like adaptations, what are acclimatization, what do you mean by acclimatization, what is adaptation, so what are the various adaptations of human being to hot climates, desertic climates, cold climates, high altitude climates. So all such things you will be studying here in this particular topic. So likewise, you will be studying various aspects. Then you will have epidemiological anthropology. Here you will be studying about various diseases and various kind of nutritional deficiency related kind of diseases. All such things can be studied here. So then you will also study some of the concepts like human growth and development, and you will also study some of the important concepts like menarche, menopause, and some other bio events to fertility. Like here you will get an opportunity to study unique aspects about these things which everyone has to understand, right? So that is one thing. So likewise, you can have all these concepts. So apart from this, the last subject, last topic in paper 1 would be applications of anthropology or applied anthropology. We'll be studying various topics like anthropology of sports, anthropology of nutrition, forensic anthropology. So all these kind of things you can study in applications of anthropology. So these are the topics that are there mentioned in syllabus section. And then friends, if we move on to paper 2, in paper 2, as I have said you, paper 2 is mostly concerned with respect to Indian anthropology and tribal anthropology. So here you will be studying these things from Indian perspective. You will study various prehistoric, proto-historic and pre-Harappan civilization kind of things. So these topics you will already cover in your history section, like Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, all these things you will cover in history section. So that is one thing. And then if you see some other things, like you will have another topic called ethnoarchaeology. So this is another topic you will study here. So then you will try to understand demographic profile of India. So you will try to study about various people and their composition that are present in India. So this is one another thing. So look at this concept, Indian population, factors influencing its structure and growth. So this you will be studying in society section also. So that's how it would be familiar to you. And then if you look at these topics from Indian anthropology point of view, the structure and nature of traditional Indian social system. So you might have heard these words like Varnashram, Purushartha, Karma, Rina, Rebirth. So these are very much central in the life of humans. So we'll be talking about all these things like Rina, Rebirth, Karma, all these things. So we will systematically study about these concepts in this particular topic. I hope you're getting it. So now the next important topic that we'll be studying here is with respect to the caste system. So friends, if we talk from India's perspective, we cannot separate caste system from India. So it has been deeply ingrained and deeply entrenched into the society that now we cannot separate it. So we'll be studying about the caste system in detail and in totality. Here we'll be studying about various concepts like theories of origin of caste, and what is Varna system, what is caste system, how the caste system has evolved, and what is dominant caste. So what are the various features of caste system. Same you will be studying from society section also. So here also you will be studying, but it would be insightful. And then there is other peculiar and prominent topics in anthropology. So one such topic is sacred complex, nature man spirit complex. So friends, if we talk from these concepts, they are some of the interesting as well as important concepts. Have you saw Kantara movie? So in Kantara movie, there is a systematic tie in between nature, man as well as spirit. So you can reflect such kind of things. And when you study anthropological concepts, you can also impose and you can also compare these academic topics with respect to your real life aspects. So such topics we will be studying in this particular topic, that is sacred complex, nature man spirit complex. So these are one thing. And then you will study about some other topics like impact of Buddhism, Jainism, Islam, Christianity on Indian society. So friends, you would be studying about Buddhism, Jainism, Islam, all those things in your history also, from art and culture perspective also. Here the topic would be relevant to Indian society. So what is the impact that they have created on Indian society? So that you will be studying in this particular topic, right? So that is one thing. So this is also overlapping section. And then in paper 1, unit 6, you have studied, you will be studying about anthropological theories and thoughts. Do you remember that section, the topic? And here also in unit 4, you will be studying about how anthropology has evolved and grown as a systematic discipline in India. So as we are saying that this would be from Indian context, so that will be done here. Is that clear? And then next topic would be Indian village. So India is also the land of villages. So you all know that. So here we'll be systematically studying about Indian villages. So there would be a lot of village studies that we will have to study. So that would be done here. And then next topic related to Indian anthropology will be these two things. One would be linguistic and religious minorities and various aspects related to them. So if you could able to recollect Article 29 and 30 of Indian Constitution, you have provisions with respect to protection of minorities. Can you able to recollect that? So these things you can just come over in this particular aspects. So then there are some of the processes of cultural change in this society, like let's say Sanskritization, Westernization, modernization, urbanization, and all such kind of things you will be studying here in this particular topic. So these are the various sections that are relevant to Indian anthropology, and from here onwards tribal anthropology will start. So tribal situation in India. So what are different types of tribes that are present in India? What is the biogenetic variability? What are the various linguistic and socio-economic characteristics of tribal population? And what about their geographical distribution? All these things you will be studying here. So that is one thing. So then you will be studying about problems of tribal communities and various developmental projects and their impact on the tribal displacement. So that means, friends, from 6.1 to 9.2, 9.3, you will be studying various aspects related to tribes. So that means this section is purely dedicated to understand tribal people as well as various issues, various safeguards and various problems faced by them in India. So that's with respect to this syllabus. So I hope you have understood this syllabus section carefully, right? So there was one thing, physical anthropology. There was socio-cultural anthropology section. There was linguistic anthropology, language, culture, and all those things. And there was archaeological section in paper 1. And here in paper 2, you had Indian anthropology and you had the tribal anthropology. So these are the broad sections in the syllabus, right? So in this you can see a lot of overlapping sections also. So that is one thing. So if you can go to this syllabus and if you can read the syllabus word by word, and if you can make notes of this word by word, there friends, there is every possibility that you can score good marks, because questions will be direct in nature. As I have shown you various concepts, direct questions will reflect in the exam. That's the key here. So you have to master the syllabus. As I have said you, like once you master the syllabus, then you will get to understand what to read, where to read, how to read, and how much to read. So this you can understand, because subject will be vast. There we have to find out and we have to understand these things properly. So that is one thing. So then after mastering the syllabus, there lies another important prerequisite in the first stage itself. You have to select best resources. So selecting best resources is another important step to score more than 300 plus in anthropology option. So here friends, let me show you some important resources or basic resources that you have to follow to score more than 300 plus in anthropology optional. So if you look at some of the important resources, so here for paper 1, friends, as I have said, there are so many sections. So if you talk from paper 1's perspective, for physical anthropology, you can pick the books like P. Nath or B. M. Das. That is two important books based upon your language comprehension, based upon your familiarity with this subject. You can just go for these two, any of these two, P. Nath or B. M. Das for physical anthropology section. And then this is one basic book, Anthropology by Ember and Ember, one basic book followed by everyone to get basic insights about anthropology. And you can get a beautiful overview of this subject by studying about this book. So this makes one another important resource for you. And then, as I have said you already, that anthropological theories and thoughts section is one of the important section. If you master that section and if you master that particular unit, there is no one to stop you from scoring more than 300 plus. So if it is that case, what is that resource which makes you master in that? That is this by Anthropology, Introduction to Anthropological Thought by Pandey and Upadhyay. This is one another book, and there is other book by Makanja. So you can choose any one of these two books. Both are equally good, and out of these, to suggest Upadhyay and Pandey could be one best resource that can help you to sail through the journey of UPSC. And then friends, if you look at other things from socio-cultural anthropology point of view, an introduction to social anthropology by Makanja, or an introduction to socio-cultural anthropology by D.N. Madan and Majumdar. So these are some other important books that you can pick. Okay, and then as we were studying about some applied anthropology section, so there applied anthropology by LP Vidyarthi is an important source that you can pick. Okay, and then if you look at some other accessory material that will enrich and enhance your knowledge in anthropology would be that IGNO MA anthropology material. And along with this, if you need to start this subject, first and foremost resource that I will personally recommend is Kerala Board SCERT books, class 11th and class 12th. If you can just start your anthropology preparation by Kerala Board SCERT 11th and 12th books, you will get wonderful insights about Anthropology Optional. So friends, you can start always with your preparation with these books. And there are some online sources also for anthropological theories. You can refer the blogs of University of Alabama, and for the genetics portion you can just refer this link, and you can also refer and constantly follow Anthropological Survey of India, so the website of Anthropological Survey of India. So these are some of the important resources for paper 1, right? And in the similar fashion, we can also see some of the important resources for paper 2. So friends, as this section is mostly concerned with the Indian anthropology and tribal anthropology, the books are also same and similar. So for Indian anthropology, you can always pick Nadeem Hasnain book. So that is a beautiful book which you can refer. And apart from Nadeem Hasnain, if you wish to go for any other book, then I'll recommend you to go for Indian Anthropology by R.N. Sharma. So this is also a book which gives you insightful knowledge about the subject, right? And then if you look at other books, Tribal India by Nadeem Hasnain, this is one thing, and Tribal Culture of India by L.P. Vidyarthi, it is also one another book that you can pick, and Outline of Indian Prehistory by D.K. Bhattacharya. So D.K. Bhattacharya's book, it provides you an insightful information related to various prehistory kind of topics, right? So the first 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 units, that will be this, okay? And then if you talk about other accessory resource, you can go to Fossil Evidence by S. Das. And to enrich your knowledge, you can go with the Zaza report, Verzenius Zaza, and you can refer all these other things like Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and you can have the Tribal Faces of India. So there is a PDF magazine, so you can also go to these things. So that is with respect to various sources and resources, books and resources. See friends, you have to select good resources. Good books and good resources always helps you. So if you do not pick the good resources and if you do not pick the good books, then obviously you will land up in a kind of making things mesh. So that should not happen. So mastering the syllabus and selecting the best resources is the first and foremost step that you will have to do. I hope by this time you have understood what is the significance of syllabus and what are the best resources for the subject. Okay, And then what is the next step that you have to do? So the next step that you have to do is that you should go for developing conceptual clarity. You have to develop conceptual clarity. So here you mastered the syllabus. Now next step you have to do is you have to develop conceptual clarity. How can you develop conceptual clarity? You can build the conceptual clarity, or you can develop the conceptual clarity through two things. One, you can always go for self-study. But if you are a beginner, if you are new to the subject, then I would recommend you to go for regular classes. So one way to develop conceptual clarity is through self-study. Friends, some of the aspirants will reach out to me and they will ask that, sir, I can cover this subject through self-study. And anthropology, they will say that anthropology is easy to understand, I will study. But friends, what I would recommend, if you are a beginner and if you are just if you want to just rule the UPSC world with a good rank, then you have to go for regular classes, because whatever the learning that you will have in your through your self study, that can be enriched a lot by regular classes, because through regular classes you will be getting a lot of insightful knowledge from the mentor, lot of insightful knowledge from the teacher, that will add value to your conceptual clarity. So you can get the conceptual clarity either through self study or through regular classes. So that is one step that I would recommend. So after developing the conceptual clarity, what you have to do? So next step is that you have to identify the hotspot regions from where questions can be picked. So next step would be identification of hotspots. So what are hotspots? Hotspots are nothing but these are the main and important themes from which questions will come regularly. Let's say, for example, cultural relativism or ethnocentrism is one hotspot which will always reflect in the examination, right? Anthropological thoughts and theories is one another important hotspot region. So if you talk from paper 2, like sacred complex, nature man spirit complex, so these are some of the important hotspots. So likewise, you have to identify hotspots. So here, how can you identify hotspots? Here is the logic. So you can always go for analysis of PYQs. So through PYQ analysis, you can get to understand various hotspots. So do for that. So check previous year questions. So you will understand various hotspots. So that you have to do in a systematic manner. Now look at here. So you have mastered the syllabus. Now you have developed the conceptual clarity through classes or self-study, and now you have understood and you have identified the hotspots. Next step, what you have to do? Next step is that you have to build conceptual enrichment. You have to go for conceptual enrichment. So you got the conceptual clarity and then you have to go for conceptual enrichment. How this can be done? So this can always be done by making your handwritten notes. You can always go for this, your handwritten notes. My dear friends, my sincere advice for you is that if you want to emerge in UPSC journey as a successful person, you must ensure have your self handwritten notes. So even you can check all the statistics and data that all the successful person, that is achievers, topper, they have their own handwritten notes. And if you want to emerge as a successful person in the journey of UPSC, make your handwritten notes, because it develops your conceptual enrichment. It not only develops your conceptual enrichment, rather it also helps you in management of time management in main examination. And if you can make this summary of these notes at the end, this also will serve as the last minute revision source, because there are multiple resources available. Everyone will read from one or other resource, but if you make your own notes, then there you can show some difference with others. Okay, so do you remember one thing? Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. So that's what you have to follow. So make your handwritten notes. So that's how you can build your conceptual enrichment. And then fifth step, what you can do, you can always work on skill enhancement. Skill enhancement is one another thing that you can do. So what is this skill enhancement? Now you see, you have mastered the syllabus, you got the conceptual clarity, now you identify the hard spot and you have just got the conceptual enrichment by making notes. Now what you have to do? After doing all this, you have to go for enrichment and enhancement of your skill sets. For what? For answer writing, which is very crucial part in mains examination. Are you getting that? So how can you do this skill enhancement? So you can always go for practicing diagrams, and you can go for practicing flowcharts. You can go for making tables, and you can also go for other value addition material, collecting value addition material. So all these things will help you and takes or makes a paves for next step. So next important step to score more than 300 plus is that there you have to go for answer writing practice. So this is the key thing. So after enhancing your skill set, you must proceed towards answer writing practice. So answer writing practice is very much crucial, friends, here, because out of mains, out of your selection marks, 1750 is related to answer writing, and there also it is 500 marks from optional, it is related to answer writing only. So you have to develop the skills. So how you can just develop the skill of answer writing? As we are calling answer writing is a skill, you cannot develop it over the night. So there what you can do, you have to go, you have to enrich the skill day by day. So one good method is you can always go for daily answer writing practice. You can always go for this daily answer writing program or practice. You can pick any of the program and you can just do that. And apart from this, once you learn the skill of answer writing through such programs like daily answer writing, then you can test your all the knowledge through test series programs. So key thing is that, one, you have to make and enrich your skills through daily answer writing programs, and then you can just advance yourself to test series programs. There you can test and check all your learning abilities. So that is one thing. And after all these things, you can go to next thing, that is discuss, debate, and develop a good perspective about the subject. See friends, if you look at any treasure, everything will get deteriorated over the time, but knowledge is one such treasure which always grows when you share. So key thing here is that whatever the knowledge that you gain in this particular subject, you try to discuss with your friends, you try to debate with your friends, and you try to develop a good perspective about this subject. So this always helps you to enhance your knowledge with respect to subject. So that's one thing. So friends, like to summarize, the best strategy to score more than 300 plus. So this is the strategy. So you can just have this. This is the strategy to score 300 plus in anthropology optional. So friends, if you can follow these 7-pronged approach proposed by me, this approach has helped for a lot of aspirants, for a lot of achievers have used this 7-pronged strategy. And if you want to emerge as a successful person in UPSC examination, so if you can follow, I can assure you that you can definitely score more than 300 plus. So this is my suggestion and recommendation to you. So that is one thing. So friends, then next thing to say, we have understood various aspects about anthropology optional. So there will be some basic PYQ, basic FAQs, frequently asked questions from many aspirants. Like let's say for example, some aspirants will ask that I do not have biological background. Can I take anthropology as an optional subject? Absolutely yes. You can go for it. Undoubtedly you can go for it. Like let me question you, friend, if you are thinking from GS3 point of view, there will be science and technology subject, there will be environment ecology subject. Will you pick it or will you drop it? You will have to do it. So in a similar fashion, that knowledge is enough here. So there is no specific and there is no expert knowledge required here. So that is one thing. And then some students will ask this question stating that I cannot draw wonderful diagrams. So it is said that we will have to draw good diagrams in anthropology optional. So will it suit for me? This is another question they will ask. So my dear friends, again answer is that with practice anything is possible. Okay, try to understand this. Impossible itself says that I am possible. So if you practice, then it makes you perfect. So through practice you can learn anything and everything. So same is the case here also. Even if you cannot draw good diagrams, with practice you can do that. So that is one another thing. So I hope you're getting that. And then some other aspirants will ask this question that anthropology claims that you need to have knowledge with respect to lot of case studies and examples. Do we have to remember so many tribes and examples? My answer is considerable number of case studies and good amount of examples you have to remember. So that is everywhere and in every subject you will have basic factual knowledge. So data or statistical data you will have to learn. So that's also not that much problematic thing. So thing is that, so with good list of examples you can proceed. So there is no issue in that also. So that's one another important question regularly students will ask. So these are some of the common doubts. So apart from this, if you have any particular doubts, then you can always reach out to me and I'll be available at Eden IAS always. And with your questions you can approach me and I'll be ready to just provide you solutions and answers for that. So that's all from my side for today, dears, and I hope this video and this session finds well to you. So if you have any further doubts, you can always comment in the comment section also. So there our team will help to reach out that message to me. I'll just answer those questions. So in next video, let's meet with another interesting video. Till then, take care. Thank you all.